What's landed on my workbench today? A dive watch that claims 200 meter water resistance and with a real stainless steel case. Very few manufacturers do this for less than a couple $100, and this watch costs a ridiculous fraction of that. Behold the Addiesdive 2537. I'll get some macro footage of this stunning and unique dial, but I don't unbox watches and declare them brilliant. I spent a few days wearing the watch. Here's my real world findings afterwards. And I marked this video sponsored because I bought it at a discount greater than available to the general public. I'll link to the store below. They ship super fast. If you use the link, I can earn a small fee at no extra cost to you. So I might have a few smudges and dust on it now, but I can give you better feedback having tested it for a few days. If that's helpful, let me know with a like. The watch has been useful outdoors with blue anti-reflective coating on the crystal that actually works, as you can see here and here. The strap has solid stainless steel links, none of those hair-pinching folded links that major brands often try and get away with at twice this price. So I've been comfortable too. Let's discuss the design. It's a little bit confused. The watch case and dial markers obviously pay homage to a famed Swiss timepiece, but the handset does not and looks inspired by Seiko style hands. Where the watch really captivates is the dial. Addiesdive call it 3D desert texture, and I suspected it's just a flat, regular pad-printed dial, giving the impression of depth, but closer inspection with my loupe reveals ridges that do seem to cast moving shadows as I tilt the watch. So perhaps it is actually 3D, not flat. What impresses me more, however, is the striking contrast with the gradient pattern, darker where it meets the periphery, to make the indices really pop visually. Brown, blue or black dial, which will you choose? I'd bet brown will sell out the fastest. This matching colour, brown and black Addiesdive branding, looks applied to the dial, as do the markers. I can find no information from the brand that specifically says what this sloped bezel insert is made from. To me, it has the same specularity as ceramic. I mean, it's shiny, but I can't promise it's ceramic. I can promise it's lumed. It's BGW9 blue. It's a lume shot you guys like so much. Big numerals on the bezel make it look better than it probably is, though that's a good solution. I'd score it a strong 8 out of 10, only because there are some watches that have exceptionally bright lume that reserve those 9s and 10s. Detailed specs are on the way, but first, the case has no business being this good for what it costs. Flawlessly polished flanks command attention, contrasting sharply with the brushed lugs here. Turn it over and a radial brushed rear case sits flat, locking the watch into a low lean profile on the wrist. Now the main value proposition for this watch is that it's not that easy to get a 200 meter dive watch made from real solid stainless steel for, in this case, about 75 to 80 bucks, depending on whatever offers there might be. The only mainstream brand I can think of that offers competing specs and value is the Casio MDV 106, aka the Duro, which I liked so much I bought 5, so it didn't really save any money. That's another story. But the Casio has a 44mm case that some will think is too large. The Addiesdive 2537 is a far more wearable 41mm diameter watch. So let's throw some specs and dimensions on screen now. At 13mm thick, the case has presence without feeling bulky, while the 48mm lug-to-lug helps hug the wrist. Lug width 20 and a screw down case back and screw in crown contribute to the water resistance. This timepiece runs the ultra reliable Japan Miyota 2115 produced by Citizen's Miyota division. It's the same movement used in millions of these Casio watches and countless others. It should run about 3 years on a cheap silver oxide battery and provide very accurate timekeeping within plus or minus 20 seconds per month. Here's what the watch looks like on, for your reference, my 7-inch wrist. I removed 4 links to size the bracelet, so it should fit up to an 8-inch wrist. You can actually remove 8 links to fit people down to about a 6-inch wrist. There's a fold-over safety clasp. I mentioned the solid links earlier, and even the end links are solid. The tolerances are good on the stamped clasp, so don't jump straight to an aftermarket milled clasp thinking it's an automatic upgrade. Some of them can suck. You have everything you need right here. Up top, you get a 120 click unidirectional steel bezel. It's unrefined when unfairly compared to a far more expensive watch here, but it gets the job done with little backplay and perfect alignment. Subscribe, thanks.